Hi guys! So for this video, I want to talk about sharps and controlling your sharps. So sharps are actually not something that's like super overcomplicated thing. And it's actually really basic and I wish I had learned it earlier than later. Because sharps has been one of the most useful feature that allowed me to make cleaner and neater optics and models. So let's start! So for this one, I pulled up this Jix gun that I modeled. And what are sharps exactly? What are sharps? So sharps are really it's a super simple concept, and it's literally making the edges sharp. I'm sure you're familiar with how shading works in Blender. So we have the shade smooth, which makes everything smooth, and the shade flat, which makes everything flat. But then there's this other one that's shade auto smooth that gives you an option to have which angles to mark as sharp. So if you have used this, you might be familiar with sharps already, and as you can see, everything is smooth except for that area that is marked like 30 degrees. And you can modify this into whatever angle you want. But this kind of makes it a little difficult to control your sharps. So what I usually do is I crank this up to 180. So everything is smooth, and then I just mark the sharps that I want to remain sharp. Mark the edges that I want to keep sharp. So, like that. Now we have this weird ass shape in case you need it. Now that we have had a quick overview on how the shading works, let's look at this. Let's go back to this Jix gun and see the difference. So we have the flat, and this is the smooth. And as you can see, it's smooth. It's nice, but it's a little too smooth. So now what we have here is it's on auto smooth, and then we crank it up to 180, and we mark our own sharps. So, you know what? Let's have another example for this one. And let's use a cylinder, because it's a lot similar to the barrel and stuff that I use. So, let's hide this. And then as you can see, when usually it's flat shade. The default, I think, is flat shaded. So when I go to auto smooth, it makes it so smooth. But then I don't have controls to the sharps, so I just have to crank up the angle to know whether or not it will be sharp, right? But what if I want this part to be smooth? I want this detail to be smooth and this one to be sharp. But now they're both sharps. So what I usually do is crank this up to 180. And mark my own sharps. See? Now we can have this detail here as well as this detail here. Yes. Let's mark this as sharp as well. So this could be super useful when you're playing around with a model that has smooth edges as well as sharp edges. So for example, for some reason you want to model this thing. Let's say it's a lamppost or something. And I want the sphere to remain smooth, but I want this to be sharp, right? And we can go to auto smooth and just mess around with the angles, but then you would be trying to find angles that fit your model perfectly. Well, what you can do is you just crank this up to 180 and make everything smooth and mark your own sharps. So I'm just gonna mark this and this. There you go. And then one thing that could also help you in your modeling when you're playing around with the sharps is this modifier called weighted normals. So without it, it's really just making your faces clean. So let's go back to my Jinx gun, for example. As you can see, I have it's on auto smooth and I put it to 180. But then I have the sharps and everything. I did everything right. But then this face is looking a little weird. Like the shading on these faces are looking a little bit funky. So one quick way to fix it is you go to add modifier, a weighted normal, and press keep sharp and make everything 100 or whatever, actually whatever looks best on your model. So just like that, it fixed my model. Ta-ra! And I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!